People are colourblind. He's not too sure of the colours. Paul Maric is joining us on the line. Paul, we had a great time during the Hyundai launch, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Russell. Too bad you brought the weather down with you. It was pretty average, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I've never seen... Well, look, coming from Queensland, I have seen rain like that, but it was... Geez, it came in sideways there, didn't it, for a while?
Exactly. I was a bit worried there, but it all turned out okay, I think.
It was all good for the drive, mate. We didn't get too wet. Now, as I mentioned, we got a chance to test drive the new Hyundai ix35. We saw... obviously, the product overview and all the technical features and all that, and then got a chance to go for a drive. Actually, we ended up out near the home of the Ashes, Rupert's Wood, is it? Was that where we ended up?
Rupert's Wood.
It was fantastic out there. Had a great time.
Oh, lovely mansion, and I think the rain really helped along all the greenery there too. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it set the ambience for it. Now, mate, what did you think about the car? We got to test drive the three models. I just want to tell the listeners what this new vehicle is for a start.
Yeah, look, it's basically Hyundai's replacement for the Tucson. So they've changed the name as well. It's now called the ix35. And it's basically a soft roader. You'd compare it to stuff like the Captiva, the CRV, the Dualis, RAV4 and all that sort of business. So I think really the first thing that people will react to when they see this car is, I think they'll be gobsmacked. It just looks fantastic. They've gone all out on the design, and it's just a brilliant-looking machine. So I think they've really ticked all the boxes here. And I don't know about you, but I thought the car drove really well, and that diesel engine is just an absolute ripper. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I was the fan of the diesel variant. There was no doubt about that. What did you think about the petrol one? There was a couple of times where I just felt there might have been a little delay in throttle. It just didn't seem as crisp as I would have thought.
Yeah, look, I'll agree with you there. I think it's something to do with the transmission. They use a six-speed automatic transmission across the range, but I felt in that the base entry-level model that it just felt a bit asthmatic. It's a 2-litre 4-cylinder, so it's got a lot of work to do to pull the car, but I think once you move up in the range to the 2.4, and especially the diesel, it really solves the issues that the car doesn't have enough power to keep up with it. But I think if you weren't too worried about doing open road driving, and we're looking for more a city car, which is really what the base model is. It's a 2-wheel drive, so you can't go off-roaded in any way. I think it just does an okay job. It's not that bad.
But I do agree too. I think the styling of it looked fantastic. As a head turner, I think it's going to be a winner for them. I like the internals, and I like the symmetry that they had. That blending of the external look sort of flow through into the inside, which I think something that often doesn't happen, Paul. There's this sort of sometimes this disconnection between the way the outside of the car looks and the way the inside of the car looks. So I think they've done a great job with that. You're going to get 3 variants, as we mentioned. You get an active, which is what they call which is obviously the entry level. That's a 2-wheel drive, as Paul mentioned. The Elite is the next level up, and you get a choice of either the petrol or the diesel engine there. Then, of course, you get the Highlander, which I must say, and obviously for being the most expensive, was my favourite of the lot, I think.
Yeah, look, you have your leather seats, heated seats, reverse camera, and I think the other great thing there with that reverse camera, we chatted about this a while ago with the Kia Sorento, it's built into the rear vision mirror, so what an intuitive spot. When you select reverse, it'll be the first place that you look, and in combination with the mirrors and looking out the back yourself, it'll really help a lot of the time when you just can't see anything out the back. So I think that's a fantastic feature. And the whole range starts at $26,990. It's great pricing. So I'd be keen to see how this all goes for them. When you think about last year, Hyundai's sales were up 39% in 2009, and the Tucson accounted for almost a third of their sales. So, if the Tucson, and I must admit, it was a relatively average car, it really didn't have much going for it. If they can sell that many of the Tucson, I can only imagine how well this thing's going to go for them.
Mate, I think it's a very buoyant time for the people at Hyundai. I think, as you say, they've had great sales results. They've got an interesting lineup coming. They've got 2 other ones, 2 new cars are on the way, which are also going to continue this very stylised theme. It's a real departure from what they've probably been known for, and I think they're going to be ones to watch in the car market. I think that they'll have some of the bigger players very, very worried.
Oh, exactly right. And at the launch, the product launch, they displayed the i20 for us, which is I guess you could, it's sort of get-size thing. It's quite a small car, and I think it'll be a great challenge to the Suzuki Alto. But the other thing that really got my attention was the car that's codenamed YF.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is going to be a Sonata replacement, and it just looks brilliant. If it didn't have a Hyundai badge on it, you'd think it was a Beamer or an Audi or something like that. It's just a stunning-looking car.
It's very sleek, and I think they're saying that one's going to be out in not too distant future. We won't have to wait too long to see that on the roads, I think.
Exactly. exactly right. Lucky us.
And, mate, speaking of lucky, you have scored the dream ticket of going to the Geneva Motor Show. You lucky sod.
I know. Look, somebody's got to do all the hard work. And, I think they've just chosen me because I'm a perfect candidate for it.
Well, mate, I'm looking forward to that. Comes up in a couple of weeks. We're going to do our best to cross to you live there if it's not too early in the morning or too late at night or something like that. But, mate, I'm really looking forward to that because that show is obviously one of the hallmark events in the motoring industry. So it's going to be great to cross to you there and see what's going to be on our roads in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. It'll be a big show, so I'm definitely keen to see what's happening there. And I mean, it should be a whole lot of fun. Well, speaking of seeing what's happening, we actually had a Tucson driver pull up to us when we were on the product launch. I know you were in a different car to us, but we pulled over for a driver change, and the guy hopped out of the car and came over to see what it was. He didn't believe it was a Hyundai. When we told him it was the Tucson replacement, he was sitting there chatting to us for about 20 minutes. So I think we held everyone up, but he absolutely loved it. So I think that opposed to sort of just getting new customers for the ix35, they'll get plenty of people upgrading from the Tucson into, what is really a brilliant-looking car.
Mate, I know this has also changed the subject a bit, but it is Valentine's Day, and I should let the listeners know that when we went to, is it the Eureka Tower? I think we had dinner there that night on Thursday.
That's right.
We've gone to the top level. You'll appreciate this, John. We've gone to the top level, all of us motoring journalists, and the lift doors have opened. We've all sort of walked out, and we've walked right into this young man, right on his knees with a little sort of velvet box, and he was proposing to his girlfriend just as we got to the top of the highest level in the building. So it was all quite amazing. So it was quite touching. We all sort of teared up a little bit, all us hard-nosed journos, at this wedding proposal. So there you go.
Exactly, and she said yes, which is the main thing.
Yes, which was even better.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward when they stumble there.
I still reckon years from now that she'll say, and do you remember when you proposed and all these motoring journalists gathered around and gave us a huge standing ovation?
Exactly right. And on that token, I'd love to wish my beautiful girlfriend Abby a happy Valentine's Day for today, and hopefully she enjoys her little surprise that I have organised this afternoon.
Oh, you're a good man. This should be more like us, Paul.
I know, I agree.
Okay, mate. All right, mate, have a safe week. We'll talk next week.
Thanks a lot, Russell. Catch you later.
See you, mate. That was Paul Maric from caradvice.com.au. Great website. If you're looking for any advice on cars and some interesting test drives, it's a great one to go and check out. But yeah, that was quite interesting, John. The wedding proposal and all us journos there to gate crash it.
Where was that?
The Eureka Tower, like the highest building building in Melbourne.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Oh, great view from up there. And lovely dinner. So it was very.